Really good Setons coming up. I got Synd as Seraphim in middle, take Lappen who's UEF. Both players making a few power generators and mass extractors, with Synd appearing to be running a little faster as well, bringing an NG with him. Lappen's team, you got Sefa taking on ASF, and a very good naval battles here. We got Zondak as Seraphim versus Berghain as Cybern. Foxy Grandpa, some say maybe the best player, definitely one of the best, taking on Baby Alien, so another classic great UEF player. Some tanks, really early tanks coming through from Synd. Actually see an NG from Lappen getting that early mass, a really nice NG. First NG from Synd actually working on a PD, with Synd's ACU helping, so this is a little bit of a gamble. Lappen's getting mass for his team, while Synd is sort of standing around. Synd's tank did get through, get a kill, and will most likely kill this NG if he chooses to do so. But he's not choosing to do so. And now the PD actually hitting Lappen's ACU. So this looks a little bit like Tinoch's double PD move, but not nearly as successful. Lappen getting a whole bunch of mass at this point already. We see a great move from Alien, actually taking over Grandpa's island. Really early drop, already got the ACU, also got a tank, bomber, sorry. And here comes the drop from Foxy. It's actually a ghetto. It's got a few mech marines on there, taking out all the NGs, and actually drops them off. 2 NGs and 2 mech marines. You see how effective Artie is against units that have just been dropped off. This will be very close. A single NG at 30 health, still alive for Grandpa. And now almost done with the PD only. So here's the Artie, and it will actually go after the PD instead of the NG. And there you go. So now Grandpa has lost the island. Going back to middle, actually the numbers show that Synd got 8k mass while Lappen only got 6. So even though Synd wasn't stuck in early on, he was able to get quite a bit of mass. And now Lappen actually running away. He only put his ACU up middle, giving away the middle to Synd, who should really just get T2 and cruise missiles ASAP and just kill all these fresh T2 mass extractors from Lappen. And looks like he's upgrading and has just got T2. Some early aggressive play from Berghain, bombing all these NGs from Zondak, who did make quite a bit of flak protecting. Well, these bombers keep on coming, just sort of bombing this naval factory. Best targets are always NG, 50 mass each. So if you kill 2 NGs, you basically made up the mass from what the bomber has cost you. The fight for Grandpa's island continues. Some T1 bombers, which are easily killed by the T1 flak. Synd pushing forward with his T2 ACUs, got a T2 PD taking on Lappen, who's also got some T2 PDs, and Synd has to be careful. Synd has definitely taken over middle, got the 2 extra mass extractors. If he can solidify this position, maybe a little late for cruise missiles. Stealth field, actually. Nice use of mobile shields from Lappen here. Foxy sends in some cruisers to take on the island. Of course, there's always a problem with not being able to shoot over this coastline. And a nice submarine from Alien, and we see the double drop full of tanks against the island. Immediately after the drop, you want to move your units. Bunched up units, very susceptible to Artie. And you can see that most of the units from Baby Alien here are actually flak, which easily get killed by tanks. And no PD. A PD would have been very useful for Alien. You can see the tanks taking over. And now we got a full-on standoff between Lappen and Synd. Both got shields. Might be slightly better PD from UEF, but better shields from Seraphim. Of course, at T3, UEF will always win this battle. Minute 12, you got a drop from Alien directly on Foxy's base. This has been great play from Alien, taking over island from Foxy, taking him out of his element, and actually doing this move. So very aggressive, very creative. And Grandpa's ACU is just sort of sitting down in the corner. This will be pretty devastating. Some T2 ships, of course, from Grandpa would have been very nice to shoot down this transport, but a little late. For the most part, T1 PDs. This is a T3 ACU, you can tell by health. Of course, pretty vulnerable toward the cruise missile missiles. Actually, Alien capturing a T2 mass extractor. That's very disrespectful, but nice to see. Grandpa countering by making his own PD. Of course, T3 ACU has the same build capacity as 18 of these, 18 T1 engineers. So he will be able to build these much faster. Gets one shield up. So actually, Alien putting himself in a pretty dangerous situation. He does not have naval. He's got a bunch of T1 subs. He does not have air cover from Sefa. Q pretty much has air control. So Alien will have to make a pretty good shielded base. Also, the T2 destroyer from UEF has a lot of damage per second, not taking on his shields as well as his cruiser. However, Alien was able to take over quite a bit of Grandpa's early base. Now both shields are gone. Alien needs some TMD as soon as possible. Actually, a T3 mass extractor for Grandpa, that's pretty crazy. And a strategic bomber from Sefa now going against Alien. Pretty bad situation. He really wants to get out of range of this navy. That's something that you see Berg, where he does this drop very well. He always does an initial drop here and then moves forward quickly to get out of range of the navy. And now Alien has died. So this was not quite a calm bomb, because he did put up a good fight. But for Grandpa, it is very much a calm bomb. If we look at middle, it appears that Lappen has been successful in pushing Synd back quite a bit. Of course, he has not taken over middle yet, but Synd has been forced back. Look like a pretty big advantage for Zondak in terms of navy. This is a Seraphim versus Cybern, and Cybern should definitely have a pretty big advantage early. Of course, one unit that Seraphim has are the T2 flak. Very effective. Something that Cybern does not have, as long as people follow the rules of no mixing. And we see the SF battle, which appears that Sefa will have the win here. Sefa, Cure did have to make a bunch of strat bombers to kill Alien, but to be fair, Sefa did make quite a bit of T2 torpedo bombers, and he did get the Alien's base. So at the end of the day, what matters is that top team does have air control and are using torpedo bombers to hit Foxy back. Foxy taking his time, actually rebuilding his island, and now T2 drop coming in from Lappen, maybe not the best positioning, flies over a cruiser, which is really unlucky. Cruisers got very good AA. See some pretty good T2 bombing here against Berghain. Lappen's team really taking advantage of their air control, knocking Berghain back. And Zondak is a very good naval player, and this advantage might give him enough to kill Berghain eventually.